Hey everyone, I'm back. It's been a while. I don't know if you guys saw, but Grant from Straight Six Fan came down and we talked about the truck. He made a quick little video about the truck and a little bit about the Nova there. Anyway, it kind of inspired me to get back out in the shop. So 2 days ago now, I was sitting in the line picking up my son from school at the pickup line and I had a drink. And I always have it squeezed between my legs, between the steering wheel and me. It's always kind of a pain. It's cold. First world problems, I know. I was thinking, man, it would be great to have a cup holder. So I'm sitting there, and it dawned on me that there is a company, LS Fabrication. He's up in Canada. Great guy, great company. They make one that bolts on underneath, over there, underneath the climate control. I was like, man, so I got on their webpage, found it, looked it up, added it to the cart, and I was like, you know what? I think I want to try to make one. Make it my own. Make it just a little bit different. So I actually started, this is all happening while I'm in the pickup line at school. I went online, I found the cups, the stainless steel cups, and I ordered them. So they showed up this morning. I took some measurements, got my trusty CAD out, made a template. So basically, this is a rough draft. This is the dimension of the cups. So I got one regular size for a standard soda and a larger one for like a big quick trip tea or something like that, 32 ounce tea. It's 7 inches by 8 inches. And I don't remember, I'm drawing a blank. I want to say this is like 3/8 or a 1/2 inch radius. So just as a template. So what I've done here, let me climb in the truck. So there's, on the bottom of these dashes, there's a screw here and a screw here that bolt into the bottom of the climate control. And excuse this thing's filthy, it needs to be cleaned, but this is how his bolts on, and that's kind of how I thought I'd bolt mine on too. So it just bolts on like that. Back up there a little bit. Makes a cup holder. So I think that's a pretty good draft. So I'm going to go upstairs real quick, and I'm going to print this on some cardstock and see if we can't get a rigid, or a more rigid template, see how it looks. Be right back. Okay, so I printed on some thicker cardstock and actually bolted it on. So this is actually just manila folders. I glued laminated 2 sheets together and made it so it's a little thicker, a little more rigid. So this is the exact same thing as the white one here. Or there's just this 8.5 by 11 just copy paper. This is just on thicker cardstock. So I got it in here. I like the position. I like the position within the radio and climate control. The climate control, it will be blocked by it a little bit, but I think I can deal with it. I can just remove a drink or whatever. So one thing I did notice is this right here is really tight. So I'm trying to get in there and get that key. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this and shave this back kind of like so on both sides to get a little more clearance there. So let me run back up to the computer and I'm going to try another iteration here and see if we can't nick this thing. All right, boys, I think we're on to something here. What I ended up doing was I sucked the sides in to give more clearance here. You still have a little bit, but I can deal with it. It's actually, well, it's not really centered. Let me scoot it over a little bit. There we go. Gives plenty of room here and some room over here. Well, just symmetrical. I think symmetrical. You can see the pattern there. That's how I ended up doing it. So I shrunk down this lip here to, this is a little over 1/4 inch on both sides. So I sucked this dimension in a little bit. So this is now less than 7 inches before. It's still the same width back here, and actually here and here is it's just sucked in just a smidge out of here, but out there, back there, it's the same width. But I think it turned out pretty good. So I kind of followed the contour. So I brought my line up and then into my tangent point and came around and put a nice fillet in there. And I think that's going to work. So I'll show a quick picture of the CAD drawing here real quick on the screen. I use AutoCAD every day, so this pretty easy to draw something like this up. But yeah, so it's, like I say, it's a little less than 7 inches this way, and it's 8 inches this way of material. I like this one here, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in the shop and have it laser cut. I'm actually just going to use, just because we have some, I'm going to use some 16 gauge 2B stainless. So it's kind of like a, it's not food grade, but it looks like food grade, that similar finish. It's not brushed or anything, so I'm going to probably brush it myself. I think I wish I had some number 4 around because it is the fully brushed, fully finished, but that's what we got. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the shop, and hopefully in a couple days we'll have that back here and we can finish up this video. All right, it's been a couple days and we got a prototype. So kind of have them laid out here. That was my first go around, second go around, third go around. So these two are actually the same here. This is just obviously out of stainless, and that's cardboard, but worked pretty good. Like I said in an earlier video, or earlier in this video, this is 2B stainless, 18 gauge. I have brushed it a little bit. You can kind of see it's filthy. I apologize for the fingerprints. And it's got some little micro scratches in it. I'm going to buff this back out, but you can kind of see, man, I had a perfectly good arc in there when I was trying to brush that out. But anyway, that's what it looks like. Worked out perfect. So I spent a couple hours. I made these holes here and here intentionally a little bit small. And I'm glad I did, because these things, as I stupidly thought that these things would probably be parallel all the way up, perpendicular to the bottom, that is. So they actually start off a little bit smaller in diameter, and they get wider, and as you come up back to the top, they get narrower, and at the very top, they get wider. So it's kind of a weird deal getting them in there. So I've kind of finessed the holes so that you really got to push it in to get it past that first hump where it kind of widens out, but it sits down just about perfect in here. Now, the problem I've had is that they flare back out towards the top where they started doing this roll here to roll the lip over. Let me see, I can show you, see that lip there. So there's a little bit of a gap right there. And that's because the cup holder actually gets a little bit larger in diameter, so they can't sit down. So I'm not sure I want to go any bigger with the holes, because I've already massaged them out a little bit to get these to fit in here. Because if I get too big, I don't want it jangling around in there. So what I thought about doing was maybe rolling this lip over some more to get it to sit down to fill that gap in. I mean, it's a tiny little gap, 1/16 maybe on the big side on both of them. Not a big deal. Kind of it's a little bit of a reveal. Well, that's not sitting all the way down, but it's a little bit of a reveal there. You can see that one. Not a big deal right now. I'm not too worried about it since this is kind of my first go around. But yeah, I think it turned out really well. So this is a progression of a week. And like I say, I have a steel shop at my fingertips, so I can get to do crazy things like this. So LS Fab makes an awesome cup holder, and I drew a lot of inspiration from his for this. His is a little different. I think his sits out further than this does, like overall, so the cups will sit further away from the radio and the HVAC controls. And I think he's got a swoop in his here, here, and here. And I'm not so certain if his center line of his cups aren't in line with each other, and I think they're flipped. I'm not sure. Like I say, I'm not trying to rip off his design. I just took inspiration from it. And before anybody says, yes, I did talk to him. He wasn't super happy, but I did tell him that I have no intention on selling these. I actually just made one for this and for my dad's car. It actually fits the Nova. That's why it's got a big slot in it, because the Nova here has a 4.5 inch spacing, and the C10 is a 6 7/8 spacing. So that's the Nova there, and the C10's out here. So yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling here. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the truck real quick. Here she is, final product. Bolted in, super smooth. So I went to the hardware store and got some longer bolts here. So the way this thing works factory is these screws here and over here actually screw up into the bottom of this, and this is threaded. Mine over the years has been taken apart and put back together. I don't know how many times. I know it's been at least twice or 3 times by me, and then who knows by how many other people. So they were stripped out. So I actually put a bolt through, and then I have just a little jam nut on the back side just to hold it so it doesn't want to pull it back through. It's not like crazy tight, but it's tight enough that she doesn't really move. I mean, if you press on it a lot, it'll move, obviously, because it's 18 gauge, but it turns out really well. Like it a lot. So holds my cups, holds your sodas. One thing I noticed, and you may have just noticed that too, this is a pretty tight fit in this one. So when you put your drink in there, it doesn't want to go down in there or go slowly. Got a little of an airlock here, and I'm thinking once this has condensation in it, it's going to be even worse. So I'm thinking about on this one here, drilling a hole, and possibly this one too, just to let any condensation drain out. But I think it works pretty good. They're pretty close. You can still access the radio. I don't smoke, so I don't need an ashtray. I don't actually use it. It's actually got fuses in it. But I figured if you ever have to use the HVAC, you could just pull this out. But yeah, it turned out perfect. I really like it. It does sit back down in there. So you can see my reveal here a little bit. So I'm going to work on that and see what I can do about maybe bending that lip up and over. But overall, I think it's a pretty good deal. So, like I say, first world problems, but I think it looks great. Super simple. And like I said earlier, no plans on selling these. If you want one, lsfab.com, I think is his address. He's got them for every variety of and flavor of C10 and Chevy truck you can imagine. So, yeah, that's it. Looks great. Bolted on. I even went and got fancy stainless hardware there. Don't need to do that, but yeah, I like it. So, anyway, that's it for now. I do have a winter project. I don't know if anybody follows me on Instagram, but I do have an Instagram page where I have been kind of hinting at what is it I'm doing there. I bought something from Travis at Pro Performance. General hint, it goes somewhere in this area. But yeah, that's coming up soon too. I plan to spend quite a bit of time on that, getting everything. I got to do some rewiring on my fans up there. I'm going to a 3 relay setup on my my fans because this Entropy radiator, these fans, while they are amazing, they are loud. So I'm going to go 2 speeds on those, and that also wires into something that's going to be happening this winter as well. So anyway, sorry for the short video. Sorry for me rambling again. I'm just excited to be out in the garage. Straight 6 fan. He did a video on me in the truck and the Nova up here. He is my inspiration to get back out in the shop. I just needed a good kick in the butt, and here we are. So, first project of 2021. Don't want to start too early. You know, it only is October. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to. A lot more content coming out. I actually do have some projects coming, so that's super excited. The go-kart project, I'm staring at it actually right now. Needs to get going because both my boys are after me to get it going, so we're going to start working on that. I got some stuff we need to do to this, and who knows what else will come up. But anyway, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.